I don't know if Mitch McConnell's alive, brain dead. I mean, the reality is Mitch McConnell's been brain dead and doesn't have a soul anyway. So he really has lived a very pathetic, empty life. See, Mitch McConnell, you had an opportunity to impeach the man that owes a woman $80 million for raping her, and you didn't do it. You could have done this to a man who's a convicted felon, and you didn't do it. You saw him sit there for hours shitting his diapers on January 6th, and you didn't do it. You knew he was on the Epstein files, and you still gave him a pass because you wanted Republican power. Mitch McConnell hasn't had a soul almost all of his life. He's lived his whole little shitty turtle life, crapping on women, crapping on black people, forcing white Christianity on people. That's it. And Mitch, sometimes karma is a bitch. And you know what's interesting, Mitch McConnell? God has a funny way of karma. And I do agree with you on one something. I do believe that God sent Donald Trump here, but to expose people like you, the moral rot within this country and within your little fake Christianity over there. Because I'm so sick of you little white evangelicals running around claiming that you care about life, but the moment that a woman gives birth, you don't care if her infant dies from complications that she knew about. You don't care if the woman dies of sepsis. You don't care if Trump rapes the woman when she gets older. You don't care if Trump molests that little child on Epstein Island. You don't care if that child dies on January 6th because of an insurrection from the guy you voted for. You don't care if it's shot in a school or a movie theater. You don't care if it starves to death. You don't care if it has healthcare. You don't give a damn about life, Mitch. That's why I don't give a damn about your condition. Because that's the same thing you've given victims of school shootings. Thoughts and I don't give a fuck. Because you care more about a goddamn gun. And it's fitting that you would be possibly brain dead, right? Because it's really symbolic of the entire Republican Party. You're all morally rotten on the inside. And that's why you left the Republican Party, because of people like you, Mitch. John McCain, I voted for him. He was a decent human being, a Republican. I voted for Barack Obama, a decent human being. And you people are so scared, so petrified of being the white minority that you just can't even handle somebody speaking Spanish or looking black on a bus or Mexican or Latino or Muslims or Somalians. You were so afraid, Mitch, of being a white minority in this great white nation that was found on white supremacy so much that you just couldn't stomach voting for the black woman. You just couldn't handle it, could you, Mitch? You just couldn't handle progress. So karma, it's an interesting thing. And I'll say this, I do believe that God works in mysterious ways and that God sent Donald Trump here to expose the rot within his church, within this country. It's funny how things work out. And I'll say this on the other side as well. For the people that didn't vote for this, for every single white person that looks like me, that won't say what I'm saying, that refuses to put your flag upside down in your front yard, that refuses to post online, that refuses to get off your lazy asses and protest on a Saturday, which cost you $0 when you went to a football game or a baseball game or Netflix, you're complicit too. Because evil succeeds when white people do nothing. A modified quote from MLK. Because that's what we've done since 1619. It's not a goddamn thing. That's why we have the Mitch McConnells and the Trumps and the alcoholics and the worm brains and Linda McMahon, who's an absolute dumbass, and Dan Bingo Bongo, who's back to being a dumbass white supremacist podcaster. That's why we have these clowns, and Kash Patel, whose little girlfriend's a 2-bit hooker that uses our personal aircraft to go around getting drunk with Team USA and flies her to different dates across the country on our tax dollars. Because y'all don't want to be uncomfortable. This is on everybody. Don't blame the politicians. Every single one of you have the power to fix this, and you don't want to. You know I'm right. 8 million people on a Saturday. That's it. 8 million people on a damn Saturday. That's all that comes out to protest. That's why this country's here. Because you're not pissed off enough yet. You're not angry enough. You're not willing to sacrifice your personal comfort for anybody else unless it negatively affects you. But just remember that when that negativity comes back to you. So Mitch McConnell, thoughts and prayers, and fuck you, nobody cares.